I wanted to jump on live and talk about what to do, what to know before you hire a business coach. So, if you guys are entrepreneurs, you guys are looking to start a business, or you have a business and you don't necessarily know what to do or how to fit the dots in the proper timeline that it needs to be executed, you're probably in the market for hiring a business coach. Now, if you already have a business coach, some things that I want to share with you guys about hiring a business coach, or any coach for that matter, is a very important concept that will help you make a decision on the best business coach, or any coach, again, for that matter. So any coach, even a health coach, a dating coach, maybe you are looking to hire a parenting coach or a writing coach. There's a coach for every single category now. The reason why it's important to know what to look for is so that you don't, go into a contract with a coach and then end up having to spend a ton of money, and then you guys weren't really aligned. Okay, so that is the key word, alignment. Hiring a business coach needs to require you to look into, how do you align with the coach? Are you a person that aligns with this coach's values, or aligns with, what they believe in, their core values, their mindset? Do they have the same work ethic as you, or more, right? Do they have the ability to show up even though they might be stressed sometimes? Because a lot of the times we are going to want someone who can lead us out of our darkness, out of our own like depression, or whenever we go into the woe is me, when it is time to grow our business, or we aren't happy with the results we get, we can sometimes easily just quit or not do the things we need to do during that day, that week, that month, given how long it takes for us to get over the failure. And how long it takes for you to get over the failure really is a huge tell on how successful you are. Because if you ride your lows in business too hard, it will really funk up your ability to execute your strategy. It'll fuck up your ability to go out and find clients. And if you don't have that coach in your corner who can motivate you and actually support you in moving you past your whatever depression about a failed launch, launch in a business, if your coach isn't able to like motivate you and inspire you to go do the thing, then it's going to be really hard to do it every day and be consistent. So some red flags to look out for when hiring a coach is, number one, you want to make sure that your coach is going to be in the same realm and chapter that you're in. So for example, for me, I'm a mom, I have a family, I'm a wife, I run a business from home, and my goals are to be with my family and to run and operate a successful business from home so that I can have time with my family, and then also a nice balance for myself. That is my goal. Now, it wouldn't be smart of me to hire a coach who was in their 20s, who didn't have a family yet, who didn't, experience some life and have maybe some relationship like wisdom, right? And I don't think it would be beneficial or fruitful for me to hire a coach who was kind of like just out there kicking it still, because then that doesn't align with who I am right now. Right now, I'm kind of like in that growing mode, like growing my family, taking my business to the next level, taking my family to that next level, right? I'm not in a place where I'm party town. Like my early 20s is no longer here. Like that's not who I am anymore. So I'm not going to hire a coach who is in that vibe. I would prefer a coach who is spiritual like me. I'm very spiritual. That's why I niche all the way down to spirituality, because I notice that the clients that I enjoy working with and get a lot of results with me are my spiritual clients, the clients who really dive into their spirituality, the clients who really love manifesting, the clients who do meditations and journaling and pull tarot cards and, you know, call themselves light witches and are okay with that, right? So I want you guys to think about, when you look for a coach, where are you at right now in your life? Where are you at? Are you a wife? Are you kind of a homebody but love to travel, right? Because you could still be a homebody, but you love to travel the world when you have the opportunity to. Are you kind of a party goer? Do you kind of go out a lot and like are in the social scene a lot? Do you have to raise children? Do you have, do you have to take your kids to school every morning like I do? I build my schedule, my call schedules, all of my clients that I have right now, I build you guys into my life. The appointments I make, I build them into my kids' school schedule. I take them to school in the morning, I pick them up after school, and all of my appointments are around these school times. So I value that. And that is like one of the goals that I have achieved, is being able to be the parent who picks up, their kid in the morning, take them wherever they want after school, pick them up, and I take pride in that. So as a person who wants to hire a coach, I also want to see my coach do that same kind of thing, where they are a mom, they are spiritual, they have a really close-knit family where it's just, a lot of their interactions is they have like a close circle. It's not like this huge popularity contest. And for me, that just it just speaks to more who I am right now. Now, the other thing you want to take a look at is, do you connect with the person? Okay, so like, let's just say these lives. I do a lot of these lives. I've kind of scaled back lately. However, only because of the reels. I put so many videos on reels, but you guys can kind of tell the energy I'm on. I'm very chill. I'm relaxed. I do know what I'm talking about. I've been in the game for some time now, and I've coached many women across the world. Now, what you want to take a look at is, does your coach kind of talk snooty, right? Do they talk like they're better than other people? Do they have a level of humility about them, but they also know that they got their shit together and they know what they're talking about? Do you feel like you can vibe with them? And do you feel like you can actually be friends with your coach? Not that you're hiring a coach to be friends with. That is absolutely not the goal here. The goal here is to find a coach you can respect, but then also see yourselves in them. And either the future you in them, because a lot of the things that I think people fail is that you don't want to be friends with your coach, and also I don't think your coach wants to be friends with their clients. I think the biggest result for me as a coach who coaches my clients, the biggest thing I want is to have and bring results for my clients. And that absolutely does not require for me and my clients to be friends at all. There is no requirement of that. However, do I get close to my clients? Absolutely. I think there's a lot of like things that you share with me, even the clients that are watching this in a replay. You guys know that I know a lot of things about you, and I help you through those things, those dark moments in your life, personal lives even, and your business life. They do intertwine. So when you work with me and you work one-on-one, there are a lot of things that I know about my clients, which inevitably makes me feel very close to my clients. And that's the reason why I just absolutely love the one-on-one model. And I don't really want to go into the group model too much. I'll do that from time to time, like I'll do group trainings. However, I feel very not as intimate as I'd like when it's me and that other client. It does feel like they have their guard down. They can really like just decompress and talk to someone they can trust in the business realm. Because a lot of the times it's very lonely running and operating a business that is not conventional, right? Like, I mean, maybe now you could say online businesses are conventional, but I don't know anyone else in my family, Not even any of my friends. I don't know anyone personally that have an online business where they're literally making a living off of their online business. I don't. Everyone I know kind of works from a organization, a corporation, or they're going to school to do that. So maybe it is still considered an unconventional way to make money. And in that, it can feel very lonely because I still till this day get judgment about what I do. Like, what do you do when you run a business online? What is it that you actually do? What are your programs? How do you charge? Do you really make money? Do you really have clients, right? Prima Sweet Shop, so nice to see you on here. By the way, loved your cake pops. My kids love them. And I think I'm going to order some when it is time for their birthdays, which is around January and May. January and May. Maybe even like a holiday order if you're open to it. Okay, anyway, so back to what I was talking about. Before hiring a business coach, what to know. Number one, you need to energetically align with them. And you have to, and I'm going to say this, I've said this already, I recommend to hire a coach who's in the same chapter that you're on, that just happen to know the thing you don't know. So like for me, right, I gave you guys an example. Mine is I have a family, I'm raising children, they're going to school, we're like growing with them as they're evolving as little ones while we're running an operating business from home. We're doing a lot of these things from home. I have my husband here who also runs his own business from home. So we're kind of in this place where we both work from home. However, we're still juggling, being able to be with our children when it's time for them to go to school. We take them, we pick them up, we'll alternate. However, the goal here is to have more time with our family. That is ultimately the goal. And the mistake I have made in the past was I hired a business coach a long time ago who was male. Okay, and there was a time where I was like, you know what? He probably knows more than me. I'll give it a shot. So I hired a male coach. He was probably in his early 20s, super flashy. He had like a really nice car, like a really expensive watch that he would like flash around. He had this huge house that he would always flaunt in his videos, and his car he'd flaunt in his videos and everything. And he just flaunt. Like it was very like young feeling, very materialistic energy, right? And so I hired him on, even though I knew that is not my time. Like that's not my energy right now. My energy is I'm a mom. I'm kind of a homebody, but I also like to travel with my husband and do date nights with him. But I'm not like, let me show you my G-Wagon and let me show you my mansion, right? That's not the vibe. It's not like that. It's very low key and modest, right? It's not like booming your face, but that was his time. Now, that was one red flag. Second red flag is that he wasn't spiritual. And I'm very spiritual. So when he was coaching me through like business things, for example, one of my clients, and I had done this because he had recommended it. This was a while ago. So this is like maybe my first year in business. He had recommended that I put up some testimonials of my clients talking about their experience of me. However, it was just them talking, like an interaction of me and my client coaching. And I was like, do you think I need to ask their approval, or should I just post it, right? Hi, Colleen. And so I just posted it, and my client was like, oh my God, I can't believe you posted that. I feel really embarrassed. Can you remove it? So I removed it only because my client had said that. And I asked my coach at the time, who was male and just was completely not in the same vibe as me. He was like, I would keep it up there. They're just being bitches. Right? And that's the response he gave me. And it was just so insensitive, because I would hate that if I were the client and I kept that up there. Oh yeah, absolutely, no problem. I hope he loves it and I hope he feels better. And so when I felt that, I just felt so misaligned, right? He was like, no, leave it up there. They're just being bitches. Like, who cares? They're not going to do anything about it anyway. Just leave it up there. I deleted it because it just didn't feel right to me. If my client feels embarrassed, I'm not going to leave something up there while my client's like on the edge of her seat wondering who's going to watch this video. That's absolutely not what I'm aligned with. So that was number 2, which means he kind of has this like, I don't know what you would call it, but it's like a method of like, you don't empathize with the clients you have. You're not empathizing. You're not being sensitive to their needs. And that is far from how I coach. I'm very much an empathetic coach. I coach via intuition. Like if my intuition's telling me to really hammer in this lesson, I'm going to do it. But if my intuition's telling me, Maria, you're kind of too hard on her right now, let's relax, I'm going to relax. I wouldn't just bulldog my way to success. And that's how it felt like when I was working with the guy, was that he was kind of bulldogging his way to like millions, right? So anyway, that was a red flag for me. And then another red flag was like, he was like, since you live in Las Vegas, you need to do some videos behind like these really expensive cars, like on the strip. Because on the strip, if you go to the strip, you can see like just these exotic cars driving up and down the street. You'll see exotic cars parked in valet in these amazing hotels, and you can do a quick like boomerang. But that's not me. That's not my time. You know, I'm not, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, but that would attract the wrong audience. Like, I'm a spiritual business coach. I'm not just a traditional business coach to make you hit $1 million. While that would be a goal of mine, that wouldn't be also my number one priority. My priority is to have my clients have an aligned business and an aligned life, which means in your life, your relationships in your life need to be also working while your business is working. So it's like it's a harmonious boat, right? Like a boat of success versus it being lopsided and then you only have a successful business but a shitty life, right? Or a lonely life, or a life with shitty relationships around you and you're not happy. And so meanwhile, this guy's also single, and he rants about, on his videos, he rants about how he doesn't want to have gold diggers, but in the same breath, he will market his cars and his watch, his blinged out watch, right? But then attract it by saying, hey, look at all the things I have. So you see how it's misaligned in that. But see, that's also a part of being a young person and not really knowing what you're doing until you learn the lessons that happen. And that's the reason why when you hire a coach, you want to think about what are the lessons they've already learned, because those lessons they've already learned, they're going to pass that on to you when you're being coached by that person, right? So a lot of my clients who come to me are kind of like me. You know, they're all married or have a family, have kids. They all really have a priority of growing their business, but in a wholesome, meaningful, and deep, trusting way versus it being only materialistic and flashy. And there's a level of groundedness to spirituality that we all have. So for you guys, when you're hiring a business coach, your next business coach, make sure to look into who you are. What kind of person are you? And I want you to look at the coach you're hiring next to emphasize and exercise that same kind of person, so that obviously, but know more about the thing you need to know, right? So that when you are talking to them, when you are being coached by them, you actually see the value in the information they are talking about. Does that make sense, you guys? And you know, that was a huge mistake for me, a huge lesson learned. I spent a ton of money. However, it wasn't terrible, but it was now I get to pass these pieces of wisdom nuggets to you guys who is in the market for a business coach. All right, so if you guys are in the market for business coaching and you love this video, you guys love the spirituality, you love these red flags I was talking to you guys about, it resonated with you, you guys even appreciate and can relate to these red flags, and you are like, yeah, that's totally something that wouldn't align with me, that means you probably align with me. So I would recommend you to book a call with me. My link is in the bio. And if you guys have any questions for me around business, around growing your online coaching business services and getting leads, you can DM me or DM me or book a call, and we can have an amazing strategy conversation about taking your business to the next level. All right, guys, have an amazing Labor Day weekend and stay safe. All right, Facebook, have an amazing day. Take care and enjoy the 3-day weekend.